Mike's Daily Podcast.
We have everything you could ever want at this cafe. We have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of fascinating material, a little bit of JARELNIME, a little bit of HAYLEY, a little bit of nonsense, a little bit of sense, a little bit of news. It's a little bit of Mike Matthews, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of Michelle Branch and Santana. And it's the last place on earth where we are broadcasting from, somewhere in Podcastro Valley,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I am your host, Michael Matthews. And today we'll hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And we'll learn how to talk really quickly and stop. No, I guess I want to sing about a JARELNIME. That's something that's on the Bing cover page today. If you take a look, do you use Bing? People laugh at me when I say I use Bing, but I say I get points. And they go, you're desperate for things in life that are free. Zoinks.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Zoinks, Shaggy. Scooby. Cowboy Bebop. Speaking of animation,
Mike's
they're going to make a live action.
Daily.
Did you hear about that? That's awesome.
Podcast.
And Christopher Wray.
Yeah.
Christopher Wray will be our new FBI director from here on out. So just be ready for that for till the day you die. It'll be Christopher Wray in charge of everything. Exciting. And the other FBI director, the Comey, when he's talking tomorrow, the big, highly anticipated hearing tomorrow he's having, it's going to be live tweeted by Trump. But look who walked in just as I was saying Trump.
Wrong.
Trump.
Which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Trump.
Nobody ever told me that politics was going to be so much fun.
Madame Rootabega, and I am here to say that I am part of the resistance.
I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance.
Look who else walked in.
Hello, Mike. This is Valentino, the backing it, ding ding.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we're really happy to be here today, and that we're moving this show really fast today.
We're moving things along, and we're moving them along fast.
Yeah, because there's lots to do in this show. I am not a news wonk. I hate the word wonk, but here's what it is. A wonk is someone who's boring as crap. I am done with boring people.
No more.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's time to stop, okay?
So I'm going to show you a boring picture. My podcast picture today is actually an exciting picture because I'm in a graveyard. And I am looking out at San Francisco and over the West Oakland, the Bay of Oakland, the Port of Oakland. That's what it's called. That's right. And it's a fun place to be. And you can see that picture at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And that's all the podcast pictures there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. And you can help out the show through the Amazon link. Click on that and buy whatever it is you're going to buy. That helps us out. There's also the PayPal. You can donate to the show that way and become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster and get a special MP3 for thee, personalized from all the Cafe Anyway characters. And this is a podcast that I sometimes get people emailing me. I'm not going to do an email from email. I'm not going to read the email that I got, but I got some guy. I think I looked into it, and I would have read his email, but it kind of came off as he was trying to sell me something. So, But he said he wanted me to be a guest on his podcast, but it kind of looked like he was trying to sell me something, so I'm just going to ignore it. So I also wanted to say, speaking of podcasts, Ken Rudin, who I am a huge fan of, because he really breaks down politics. He has this massive, expansive knowledge of politics. And he's been a guest on a lot of shows I used to like to listen to. He was on a show called It's All Politics. That ended about 3 years ago, but he was on that with another correspondent from NPR. And they would talk back and forth. That's the first time I heard about the Tea Party. I heard about the Tea Party before anybody heard about it. It was a really informative show. But Ken is one of these people, I don't know, I'm going to pull back the curtain for some of you people that don't know what broadcasting's all about. And maybe this is just some kind of world that's interesting, but I would never talk on the radio or on a podcast or be filmed on YouTube or TV or anything. The thing is, there are some people that are fantastic off the cuff. Their improvisation is fantastic, but it's a whole other world when they start reading stuff. And I know when I start reading the news stories, it can get a little wonky, boring, snoring. And Ken Rudin is one of these guys. Off the cuff, he is just amazing. He comes up with he's a funny guy and just brilliant. But he writes out his show, his podcast, and it just does not. He's reading it, and it looks like, and it sounds like he's trying to rush through it and get it done. It's like an inconvenience for him. I also noticed that guy who hosts the show now on, is it CBS on the weekends, Meet the Press or something like that. He used to be on a podcast on Slate. And Slate has their panoply network of all these shows. And I'm not the biggest fan of Slate. I thought I was liberal until I heard Slate. And then I went, wow, I am so conservative. Because Slate is way liberal. But this guy that hosts the Meet the Press show, I can't think, Dickerson, that's right. Dickerson, bring me that file. Dickerson! Where's Dickerson? I'm Steve Carell! Ah! So Dickerson would just read his entire... It was a very informative podcast. It was always about voting, elections, campaigns of the past. But he would read the whole thing and sound like he was rushing through it, and it was horrible. Horrible, because you're just starting to hear it and you're thinking, oh, he's reading it. Oh, I wonder if that's what it sounds like when I'm reading things. Oh, reading. Reading is fundamental and wonky. So let's, Oh, hey, wait. Let's get to the segment now so things don't get boring anymore. The Fascinating Material Project.
The Fascinating Material Project.
And I'm going to try and sound like I am not reading. This is from Reuters. Suicide bombers and gunmen attacked Iran's parliament and the mausoleum of Ayatollah Khomeini in Tehran on Wednesday. Well, that sucks. Killing at least 12 people. That's weird. Why would they attack? So Ayatollah Khomeini, I don't know if you were alive in the late 70s, but it pretty much sucked. Because every day you heard about the hostages in Iran, and it was all because of Ayatollah Khomeini. Well, that's interesting. Suicide bombers and gunmen attacked it, and Iran's parliament. I feel bad for the families of the 12 people killed in that. And it's violence is horrible and deplorable and should not happen in this world. And this is what happened. So I'm relating that news to you, and that the Islamic State, ISIS, claimed responsibility. You know what? And I am done. I heard someone talk about this on NPR about how we say claimed responsibility. No, the fact is ISIS said they're guilty. Because claim responsibility for making this wonderful podcast. There's something so, about it that you need to say ISIS is damn guilty for doing this and killing people and being jerks. Ugh. Okay, on to the House of Representatives. A decade ago, the first inklings of the coming recession emerged as a housing bubble. Fueled by scant regulation, low interest rates, and easy credit gradually began to crater and soon would take the rest of the economy along for its painful ride. By the time the Great Recession ended in 2009, in June. It ended in June of 2009? That mother went on for a while. What? Home prices fell 30% on average. Psst. when that happens and you got a lot of money saved, that's when you buy a house. Did you know that? Do you know that? So the unemployment rate so rent until that happens. But that's my financial advice. The unemployment rate nearly doubled. S&P 500 lost about half its value. The net worth of U.S. households and nonprofit organizations fell by nearly $14 trillion. I remember that. In the midst of and that was like 20%. So in the midst of a presidential election, Washington struggled in its response. The bankruptcy of Lehman Brothers and the takeover of Merrill Lynch turned the spotlight on Democratic Senator Barack Obama of Illinois and, remember that other senator, John McCain. So after the stabilization of the economy, Congress shifted from economic stimulus and bailouts to establishing the kind of, regulatory framework known as the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Well, guess what? Republicans don't like it. And in 2010, the House passed the financial regulatory overhaul by a vote of 237 to 192. Only 3 Republicans sided with the vast majority of Democratic members. And they are in the process of taking aim and taking it away. The House is. Meanwhile, also in the Capitol, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has offered to resign in recent weeks, as he told the president, he needed the freedom to do his job. And then yesterday, the White House declined to say whether Mr. Trump still has confidence in his Attorney General. Well, we know one thing. Trump has no confidence in leaks. I thought that he liked those leaks.
WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
Well, apparently no. Edward Snowden said yesterday the law allowing the jailing of a woman accused of leaking top-secret documents to a news website is a threat to free press. I kind of agree with Snowden. One of the few things I agree with him on, but he's living in Russia, having a great time. Because he doesn't want to get prosecuted in the U.S. Because he will. He said in a post online that the Espionage Act leaves no room to consider the public benefit of the information leak. So, Reality Lee Winner is her name. Reality. 25 years old, government contractor, has some liberal leanings, and she was charged under the act Monday for allegedly leaking a secret NSA document to the online news outlet called The Intercept. Now, the idiot at The Intercept asked the NSA, is this true? And the NSA looked at the document that Reality Lee Winner had taken, and her name is Reality Winner, and that's, I guess, something maybe she gave herself or her parents are interesting. Or however you want to say. Maybe there's a bunch of realities walking out there. There is multiple realities if you think about it. But when the guy from The Intercept, or woman or whoever, said to the NSA, hey, is this document true? Holding the document as so. And the NSA looked at the document and said, we'll get back to you. And then they checked it and they saw the document. They were able to trace it because Intercept had showed them. So basically, Intercept, they're idiots, and they have caused Reality Winner to get into this whole situation. Reality Winner, of course, beginning this whole situation. And it's whistleblowing, and it's all part of, you know what? The Freedom of Press Foundation website is where Snowden wrote all this. And we also have another website. Is it called Trumpy Leaks? That Michael Moore has started because he's got a movie coming up that he says is going to unseat Mr. Trump. And he said, if you want to leak anything about Trump, is that what it's about? Or if you have any information. And so leaks, everywhere there's leaks. This has been the year of the leaks. So there's a lot of questions I still have, like if that's really her real name, and This is basically a document already. A lot of politicians already had. The public didn't have it yet, but... And what does the document say? Well, this article doesn't go into it, but it does have to do with collusion. We talked about it on the last show. Russians, collusion with the... and the effort to hack the voting system in the U.S. before the 2016 election, connections to Trump, etc. Well, let's move on now to quickly entertainment, and then we have a very special treat for you at the end of the show. And that would be Terry Gilliam, the director who I share a birthday with, who directed a movie called Time Bandits way back when. He was in the group Monty Python. He was the only American in that group. And he's directed, the 12 Monkeys, the Fisher King, and after some 17 years, there is a documentary about how he tried to make Don Quixote, a remake of Don Quixote with Johnny Depp, and how it all went to pot. A fascinating documentary. Shows you how difficult it is to make a movie. Well, some 17 years after he first started pre-production, Terry Gilliam has finally wrapped principal photography on The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, a project once so notoriously beleaguered and stuck in near-mythical development hell that a documentary was made about it. Now, this new version that he has picked up will... it was going to have Johnny Depp in it, Ewan McGregor, Robert Duvall, Jack O'Connell, and the late John Hurt in it. Now it's got Adam Driver, Jonathan Pryce, Stellan Skarsgård, and Olga Kurylenko. And it was shooting in locations across Spain and Portugal. Tells the story of a deluded old man convinced he is the famed horse riding hero and who mistakes an advertising executive for his trusty squire, Sancho Panza. Interestingly enough, another person who spent a long, long time working on Don Quixote was Orson Welles. He spent something like 30 years working on the Don Quixote movie, like in a back, sort of a side project thing. He'd always be working on it. And I think you can find it on YouTube. It's really weird, really psychedelic, and really looks like it was put together haphazardly. But what do I know about haphazard? Oh, wait, I do a show that's haphazard. Finally, the Apple HomePod speaker. They say it made headlines at the company's annual developer conference this week, but for thousands of developers at the event, the conversation was abuzz with augmented reality. The iPhone maker rolled out new tools called ARC-IT this week for its 17 million developers to build augmented reality features into their apps. Software chief Craig Federighi showed how the system can place virtual 3D objects inside the phone camera's field of view and highlighted artificial intelligence software for facial recognition, barcode detection, and language understanding. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after a long hiatus, bring you the Wonderful segments, all wrapped up into one, called...
JARELNIME. The Daily Haley. The almost Daily Haley. Mike on the wild.
Cherry cola. I don't even try to explain. I just hold on tight. And if it
Welcome to the Daily Haley JARELNIME segment.
That was the Daily Haley rapping like a rock star.
A little bit closer. Breathe in and get a bit higher. You'll never know what hit you when I get to.
That's Haley doing Savage Garden.
I have no turntables to scratch.
Ooh, I die to find out.
Savage Garden was an Australian band.
Duo.
And one of them was named Dwayne something.
I think so.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
And country singer Keith Urban, Savage Garden was a big fan of Keith Urban. How are you, Jarrell? It's been a long time.
I've been wondering that for years.
So how was your Comic-Con thing that you did?
It's fanime.
Get it right.
Dad, it's called Fanime. Oh, God, you never get it right.
I wasn't going that far, but okay. But anyways, Fanime is a convention that convenes in... Wait, when does it convene? Oh, that's right. It convenes on Memorial Day weekend in San Jose at the San Jose Convention Center. Am I talking too fast? I think I am.
You are talking very, syncopated.
And now back to our regular scheduled program with Mike Matthews.
Exactly, which was featuring JARELNIME.
So now you can take it down.
Yeah. So basically, it was a lot of fun at Fanime. For those who don't know, Fanime is really just a convention that promotes Japanese animation, which is basically by fans, for fans, hence the name Fanime.
And so it's big here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, it's probably one of the largest conventions throughout the United States, so I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Jarrell, I have kind of a demographic question. Now, you are black, and anime is made by Japanese?
That is correct.
Did you see a lot of other black people at this event, or was it mostly Asian, or was it mostly white, or was it mostly Hispanic?
I'm going to jump in here and say that the amount of black people that I've known in my life, the ratio of them that have liked anime is extremely high.
Is this true, Jarrell? Can you concur? Whatever.
Fury from Legend of Zelda.
Yes, the thing is this: a lot of them are very introverted about it. I'm one of the few that came out of my shell, at least to the point of staffing at the convention.
That's awesome. So this is people don't know, and now we've exposed it. What else shall we expose on today's show?
Haley?
That probably came out wrong. Well, how's it going, Haley?
I started watching Twin Peaks with my girlfriend. For the
old show?
Yeah, the is it Matthew McConaughey?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Not Sarah McLachlan.
Not Sarah McLachlan.
It's not Macaulay Culkin?
Not Macaulay Culkin.
He is too busy being home alone.
But we're going to start a new band called Macaulay, Kyle, Sarah McLachlan, and Jarrell just laughed because his favorite movie is Home Alone.
Only the first one. The others were garbage.
That was some good anime. Let me make sure this is recording. Okay, it's still recording.
Hey, welcome back.
Wait a minute. How was Home Alone animated? The only animation was in the Sega Genesis video game.
No, he's talking like he's a those people that do the subtitle or the voiceover for Japanese cartoons where they talk really quickly.
You're very mistaken because there was multiple Home Alone video games for multiple systems: Atari, Genesis. The Mega Drive was the Genesis.
Haley,
but
I only count the ones that were worth my time.
None of them were worth your time. You just did it anyway.
What are you basing that on? I feel racially profiled.
So what else happened at this Fanime event?
Trying just to keep us on the subject, Ice-T. Well, stuff. People...
I'm what they call an anchor. Anchor steam beer. Beer. Hey,
You're good at that anchor business, I can tell.
Anchor Mike.
Okay, I wandered a bit. Okay, go on with the Fanime.
It was just a cool time where all people, they dressed up as their favorite characters. They did a really good job in a lot of their cosplays, and everybody just really had a good time.
Have you ever cosplayed?
No, I don't do that.
Have you, Haley?
Yeah.
What were you?
Kanaya Mariam.
Who's that, Jarrell?
I don't know, but I don't cosplay to save the people the issue of having to puke at my just ugliness.
There's nothing ugly about you. You're all beauty.
Okay. I cosplayed as an audio engineer, okay?
Oh, okay. We need those in order to hear. What?
He's good at that.
I actually am. It's nothing but black, so people think I'm goth.
So what? Huh? So what? Your knowledge of audio is unbelievable, breathtaking. The stuff that I have learned from you And when did you first get into audio engineering? Were you super young?
We really shifted gears on this anyway. But anyways.
This is all about you. This show is about you, and it always has been.
This is bad. I'm supposed to be in the shadows.
No, you're not in the shadows anymore. You're in the... So, no, when did you get started? Because it's very interesting that audio would be something... Because you know, why?
I would say I started roughly about when I was 8 or 9 years old, actually messing with audio products. And then I started doing it professionally when I was about 12 years old.
Wow, that is so young. How about you, Haley? You're young in this business as well.
Yeah, but I started when I was 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you were doing all the singing and stuff.
Yeah, I was in musical theater for most of my life, and then after college, I got into radio.
I'm with two...
After college, I went into college for radio, I should say.
These guys are so busy, I swear. Jarrell, then what was the first thing that you remember, like, event that you controlled the audio for?
That would be calibrating the audio system for Stage 0.
Calibrating the sound system for Stage 0. You are just so... I don't even know what you just said. I mean, it's like you're brilliant. Wait, what's Stage 0?
No, that was...
I was mistaken of what you were actually asking. I thought it was asking in relation to Fanime, but it's actually you're asking what's the first audio system that...
Forever. Yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
First time ever thing.
The first sound system I actually controlled or calibrated was a digital surround sound system that my dad got.
Oh, for your dad's enjoyment.
Yeah.
Your dad must be like, man, my son can play any... And then you have a perfect pitch in your brain. You can tell me any song, like what the pitch is in, or the key. What's that?
That's what happens when you have no life.
What's Haley doing?
He's singing the key B flat.
Damn it.
I didn't know you... That's talented.
That generally means that I'm about a half pitch off of perfect pitch.
Also known as accidentals.
Wow.
It sure was an accident.
Can I just say...
So it would be...
Well, now that's annoying. So, yeah, we're doing a mic on mobile here in the studios of a radio station. I just have to say, of all my years in radio, this is the most talent I've ever seen in any one studio. It's amazing. With any two employees in radio, no one has ever been this talented, is what I'm saying.
We are a rare breed.
Well... I know I've got to go and take my break now because it's about that time, and I have to go
get a break from cafe anyway.
No, for my job because I'm here at the work. I'm not at cafe anyway. I'm going to throw it back to Mike at cafe anyway.
Hey, Mike.
It's on mobile, like the Who song.
So you're mobile, Mike? Okay.
Yeah, I'm the mobile Mike.
Okay.
And that's an awesome Who song, by the way. I love the bass line in that.
That album's so good. That's one of the weaker parts of that album.
You found me on YouTube, just the bass line to that song. You found, this is back when we were both doing the morning thing, and I was like, what?
Yeah, John Entwistle was a man with real talent.
And this is a very young guy to know the Who that came out eons ago, and you just cracked your neck, Jarrell. How are you feeling?
I feel much better. I feel like I could just do a frat fall and fall asleep.
Don't do a frat fall or a prat fall or any fall. Don't fall.
A splat fall.
So I'm going to go get a burrito at that place down the street. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, stay near the restroom.
Stay near the restroom? What?
Burrito make you...
Oh, not there.
Well, on that note, let's go and throw it to Mike, who's probably about to go outside a cafe anyway. Bye. Thanks, guys. Woo! Yay!
I'm pretty sure what all the others do.
Yay! Back to me as we go outside a cafe anyway. We bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont. Next show is going to be the wonderful... Oh, you tell me. What's that? You're whispering it into the device you're listening to this to? You want to hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. Perfect, that's what we'll do. And that, my friend, was episode 1360. 1360.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!